Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 374. The title of today's lesson is Never Say I Was a High School. Okay. Yeah, students of ESL sometimes do this. Over the years, I've caught it a number of times. I think just in the past week, it may depend on the article I'm covering, but I had several students use this. Either they said, when I was a high school or when I was in elementary school, where they should be saying we should be rephrasing it other ways, or let's look at the notes. Let's cover it. Sometimes students of ESL will say, I was a high school or an elementary school, etc. In English, a person cannot be a school. It's that simple. So here's some examples. With the X, this was wrong. When I was a high school, I had a lot of pressure, or, they probably had a lot of pressure with tests, things like that. So with the X, that's definitely wrong. With the check, we have a number of ways you could rephrase it and say it, no problem. So you could say, when I was in high school, I had a lot of pressure. That's fine. Because then you're not saying that you're a school, you're saying you were in the school, so that's okay. When I was a high school student, now you can be a student, a person definitely is a student. So when I was a high school student, I had a lot of pressure. Sure, perfect, no problem. When I was a high schooler, yeah, for high school we do use a high schooler. Be careful, we don't say an elementary or a colleger, but we do say a high schooler. Okay, so that's another way you could say it. So when I was a high schooler, I had a lot of pressure. Another one here, when I was a student in high school, so you could rephrase it, you could put the in later, that would be fine too. Or, in high school in the U.S., we always, name the years, so you could go that way too. You could say, when I was a freshman in high school, I had a lot of pressure. When I was a junior, or throughout all my years in high school, I had a lot of pressure. You could say it like that as well. Okay, and here's an example where a student did it with elementary school as well. When I was in elementary school, I liked to watch cartoons. Yeah, so again, a person cannot be a school. Okay, you have to be, you have to use the word for a person. Okay, so the correct way, of course, here, all of these should have had checks. When I was an elementary school student, I liked to watch cartoons. That would be fine. When I was a student in elementary school, I like to watch cartoons. That would be good as well. Or again, here you could go back to grades. You could say, when I was in third grade, you can mention the year. You could say, I like to watch cartoons. All right. And this is another one too. I did another video before. If you, like this one, you should go check out the one too, because sometimes students say, when I was in first grade of high school, you can't say that, or first grade of college. Remember, we use the word freshman, sophomore, junior, senior for those. So you'd never say that. You should check out that video. Or you might want to also check out my video on graduate, undergraduate, and postgraduate student. You might want to check out those as well if you're confused about some of these terms. All right, anyway, this is the last little bit of a note here. The same rule applies for grade school. So you can't say you were a grade school. You can't say you're a primary school or a middle school or a junior high school, whichever term your school is using. You can't use that as well. You always have to say you were a student when I was a student in grade school, or when I was a student in primary school. All of those would be okay. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it's clear. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.